Because I can't do it, okay?
Yes, you can.
I can't 3D model.
Yes, you can. When's the last time you put that nose to the grindstone? You gotta put your nose down, son.
I tried putting my nose down.
Well, you gotta try a little bit harder. You got a fire inside of you. Let that fire out and do it.
Welcome to
Afro Ranch. From the start to the finish, Afro Ranch. Y'all about to bear witness, Afro Ranch. Going strong from the spinach, Afro Ranch. Time to get down to business.
In this video, I will be making a sculpture of Jinx from Arcane. So last year, I bought myself a 3D printer, and naturally, the first thing I did was start making random sculptures and collectibles. All hand-painted, of course, because I never want my stuff to look 3D printed. You know what I'm talking about, how it has the lines on it? Yeah, never do that.
And honestly, this 3D printer is one of the coolest things I've ever owned.
Like, how dope is it to create something that no one in the world owns? This thing, this sculpture, this collectible that you hold in your hands is the only one in existence. Isn't that wonderful? And speaking of which, I'm a huge fan of Arcane by 4T Studios. Everything from the painterly art style to the animation, the character designs, ooh, those fight scenes, and of course...
What's going on? My name's Brimsley. I'm 50 years old and I'm a scaffolder from Grimbles, and I really fancy Jinx. I think she's fit, got a bit of an edge to her, cheeky smile, good banter, and a bit crazy innit? Kinda like a blue-haired version of Harley Quinn.
And of course, when I'm talking about Harley Quinn, I'm not talking about the one played by Lady Gaga in the horrible musical Joker 2 that came out in 2024. And I love the character of Jinx so much that I made a clay bust of her a couple years ago, and didn't really turn out exactly how I wanted it to, but I was proud of it at the time, and that was all that mattered to me at the time. But this isn't that time, this is now. So, the goal now was to make a new bust using my shiny new 3D printer. And that's where we get into the first issue. Step 1. 3D modeling. Alright, so normally I would just find a model that someone else made, then print it, prep it, and paint it, but no one loves Jinx as much as me, and no one had a model of her with her braids down. I saw some other ones, but I'm just like, I want the braids down look from the second season. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's just one of the more underrated looks from the show. The only issue was, your boy don't know how to 3D model. But that's when my friend told me, or geezer, if you love the bird so much, then go on ahead and 3D model it yourself. If you don't know how, then you lace up your daisy roots and you learn, mate.
And he was right.
He's always right.
So I downloaded Nomad Sculpt, watched a YouTube tutorial, and went from this to this.
And that just tells me that
you can do anything you put your mind to. You just gotta believe you're the greatest alive. My friend, now how could you fail if you try? You're the greatest alive, and you nearly survived the
hardest part of the video.
Yeah, that just happened, which brings us to
step number 2, printing and prepping. Now it's time for my favorite parts, like waiting over 20 hours for this to print, and here's how it looked. Boom! Yeah, that's right before the print failed, actually. So like 3 times it failed. The print failed 3 times at the 16-hour mark. And did I give up? No, of course. Not yet, but I considered it heavily. And then,
after 83 years, 2 months, 23 hours, and 22 days, 18 minutes and 4 seconds, Yes, he is. A beautiful blue-haired blob.
Now, admittedly, I went a bit crazy on the supports for this. I was still kind of new to 3D printing and I just went overboard, so that's why it looks like a huge The Thing monster. And I wish it was like that episode of SpongeBob where he had that huge block of marble and just tapped it once with the chisel, then it exploded, and then on top of the rubble rose a beautiful statue of David. But no, this took hours and hours to break all those supports off. Matter of fact, I then had to go in and start using putty and sanding it down until it shined like glass. And that's how this looked. Oh my gosh, look at how shiny that is. Isn't that beautiful? And next I primed her with gray paint.
And you should be thankful I didn't record any of that because it would have been so boring, yeah. And now we move on to the fun part. Step number 3, painting the sculpture.
So here's the thing. Remember how I said I wasn't gonna give up? Well, I gave up. But there was a really good reason for it. I was scared. For good reason, too. You see, the last time I made a sculpture of Jinx, we saw how that turned out. So in my head, I thought it would happen again, because I have no faith in myself. And I know I can do anything I put my mind to, but I didn't believe that at the time. You thought I wrote that song back then? No!
In this manner there she sat upon my desk, along with the dust and other forgotten dreams, her blank grey eyes peering into the depth of my fearful soul. There were instances where I would pantomime painting her. For only a moment I would believe myself brave. But alas, fear gripped my cowardly heart like a vice, until only defeat and consternation were all that remained. What a coward I am.
However, lucky for me, I made a YouTube channel 3 months later where I had to keep myself accountable. Now, it's time to finish this thing. And here we go. The hardest part is always getting started, so I got some courage, put down the first few brush strokes, and as you can see, I got the skin color the way I wanted it to. I was mixing the colors a little bit in there, and there it goes. Just me going ahead and using a small little paintbrush to get in the base skin tone, because a lot of these skin tones is going to be in layers. So you want to pay attention to that. Always paint in layers when you're doing a face, because faces have so many different tones underneath. So that's why I started with this. And I came to the realization using the brushes that it was getting too streaky. So that's when I knew it was time to pull out the old airbrush. And here I am, airbrushing the face. Of course, it's a lot easier. You get a lot more coverage. The only thing about an airbrush is it just takes so bloody long to clean out in between. But still new to that as well. This is probably only like my 4th time using it. And yeah, here's the next step. I just went in and started painting the vest. Look at that. And here I am starting to add the shadows and stuff in the face. I really wanted to keep that Arcane stylistic way of painting, so it would look like this was literally just taken out of the show and just put on my desk. And I was getting a bit frustrated because I felt like I wasn't getting the colors right, and like I was adding too much green. Not too much, because I knew the places I was going with this, because I knew the green was going to be the undertone, because she has an undertones of bluish greens in her face, but I was getting unhappy with how it looked. So what does that mean? It means we take a break. I don't care who you are, when you're working on something for a very long time, you're gonna start hating it, you're gonna start seeing all of the bad stuff you're doing wrong, and then you're gonna start getting worse and worse because you're just gonna keep continuing doing what's wrong. So when you feel that way, take a break. I am on my way. You will thank yourself because you won't continue doing something stupid.
And that was the Afro Ranch tip of the day.
And then I didn't record it, but right before this happened, I went in with a wash of blue, a wash of yellow, and a wash of red just to get those undertones in the skin. Then I went right back over it with my airbrush and sprayed it so she would get that pale, powdery white face, and you could still see those tones bleeding through. And that's why we use layers.
That is the magic of layers.
Then we get to my favorite part of anything, whether it be a portrait, whether it be a sculpture, whether it be a character design, it's those eyes, the windows to the soul, baby. And Jinx just has such cool eyes, and I had this fluorescent pink that I was able to use. And before doing eyes, make sure you draw it in with pencil, or else you're gonna have the eyes looking all over the place. You're gonna end up with a wonky looking Jinx, and what we don't want is a wonky looking Jinx. And then if you just look here, ooh, baby, that's starting to look like Jinx. Look at that face. Look at the brush strokes. Look at the colors. And then we went in and we started adding the blue paint for her hair. And here I go with the hair, making it that perfect Jinx blue, and ooh, now it's starting to look like her. Your boy's happy now. I'm smiling. I'm smiling. Jump scare. I don't know why this part looks like it's filmed with a graphing calculator, but nevertheless, this is me painting the base. I started with a black, and then I started actually going over it with some neon colors to give it like a spray paint neon kind of look, like when she has her hallucinations, but none of that was filmed, so...
Step number 4, the Glamour Shots. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's me. You ever need a person, sibling, or a family, or a society? I call her.
Step number 5, final thoughts.
I did it. I faced my fears and I painted her.
No longer am I a jive turkey buster chump yellow belly son of a shut your mouth.
I completed it. I faced my fear. No longer does a coward stand before you, but up from the ashes has risen a hero who perseveres in the face of adversity.
And the best part of all is it looked how I wanted it to look, and I really liked it. You know, like in the middle there, I was kind of scared. I was like, man, I'm about to waste my time for like 15 hours painting this thing, and it's not gonna look the way I want to. Then I'm gonna be pissed off that I'm putting out this video and it looks bad, but I really liked how it looked. I love like the neon that I did on the base. I loved how her face was painted and you could still see the brush strokes just like the TV show. Like, yeah, I really like this. So Fortiche, hire me, Fortiche Studios. I understand it. I understand the style, bro. And just for kicks and biggles, like just look at the side by side between the old one versus the new one. Sheesh, that new one looked clean though. Woo! I don't even know how I put it side to side. I feel like I want to throw the other one out at this point.
That's how good his new one look. But hey, that's why you keep them, so you can see how much better you got from before. Cause now you know how good you are now.
And my favorite part of all is that no one else in the world owns this. I am the only owner of a statue of Jinx with her hair down.
Just me, Jesse. Just me and Jinx. There's no us.
It's just me and Jinxie on our Jack Jones. Thank you so much for watching the video. Afro Ranch signing out.
And if you haven't watched Arcane, go watch it right now. I'm serious, go watch the show right now. Stop this video and watch it right now.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little bell icon on your way out. This is Afro Ranch telling you to always keep it cool and stay funky.